Wow, very impressive.
A beautiful flag is suspended before us, a true marvel to behold. The flag was presented to the guest by her husband, who had inherited it from his grandfather.
His grandfather, who was over in Germany during World War II, and he brought back some treasures.
The flag has a unique history, having been brought back by a World War II veteran. Yet its origins predate the war. It is a rare and historic flag, specifically a Prussian veterans banner from the Franco-Prussian War era. A date of 1908 on the flag's backside offers conclusive proof of its historical provenance.
Prussian eagle.
Okay.
And then typically they're embroidered with the name of the town, and in this case, this is a little town in Westphalia.
Translated from the original text, the flag's embroidery proudly proclaims, "We Germans fear God, but nothing else." One of the standout features of this flag is the profuse and intricate embroidery that adorns it.
You have the Prussian eagle on the figure's chest there, Prussian spiked helmet down below with the trophy of arm.
Crafted from silk, this flag has remarkably withstood the test of time, and its condition is truly exceptional, especially given its rarity as a Franco-Prussian War artifact, making it more valuable than a comparable World War I piece, with an estimated value of
$2,500 to $3,000.
Wow, very impressive.
Kidding.
No.
Today we have a standout piece that's both rare and remarkably eerie. The appraiser presented Rob with a particularly eerie and fascinating piece of Weller pottery, a renowned manufacturer based in Zanesville, Ohio. This particular item, a Dickensware humidor, was acquired by his great-grandfather at an estate sale 2 decades ago for $85. The appraiser inquired about the piece's intended use, to which Rob explained that it was originally designed to store smoking tobacco. It features a skull motif, including a small skull as a finial on the top. The humidor's rare and macrobee design is complemented by a simple marking reading Dickens Weller, and an opening designed to hold a sponge for keeping tobacco moist.
You can see the opening in the top where you could put a sponge to keep the tobacco moist.
Due to its rarity and distinctive design, the appraiser estimated its value to be between $2,000 and $3,000.
Kidding.
No. He is quite interesting and extremely rare.
Thank
I don't think I'd want to meet him.
Proudly standing before us is a whimsical whirligig, full of charm. Auction enthusiast, the guest, and her husband stumbled upon this gem during one of their bidding escapades. What initially captivated the guest about this whirligig was its colorful appearance and the American flag it once proudly held, now lost to time.
Poof, vanished one day.
And it was an American flag.
Was it wood or was it a paper flag?
It was wood.
Okay. That's an interesting story, and of course we can see where the flag used to be right here.
The presence of a bird figure on the whirligig's head identified it as a classic Pennsylvania-made piece. Unlike most whirligigs designed for outdoor use, this one is suited for indoor display as a decorative piece. The attention to detail on this whirligig is impressive, from its freckled complexion to other subtle nuances. This piece embodies the quintessential characteristics of 20th century Pennsylvania folk art.
The reason I say it's 20th century is that the flower and his eyes and his belt are made out of cut aluminum. The paint also doesn't have the sort of aging and crackling that I would expect to see from the 19th century.
As a rare find in outstanding condition, this piece is highly sought after by collectors and is valued at
$6,000 and $8,000.
Husband inherited the sugar chest from his grandmother that had been in her family for 11 generations. When opened, the box has a wonderful inscription that says it was bought from South Carolina by Ab Ross, her grandfather, in 1804. Such boxes were made from 1790 to 1810, so the inscription of 1804 seemed to work out just perfect. The inscription also had the name of one of the relatives, John Ross, as he was the one responsible for this inscription. The sugar chest had 3 compartments used to store the different types of sugar in each section. As sugar was a valuable commodity in the early 19th century, this chest also had a lock. Based on the turnings on the leg, the appraiser believed it to be from eastern Tennessee. Although the chest had some repairs on the hinges and lid, the appraiser estimated it at
$5,000 to $8,000.
We had no earthly idea.
During a trip to Spain, the guest and his wife attended an auction in Madrid, where they were drawn to a collection of stick pins. Newly married and eager to impress her, he placed a bid 10% above the opening price.
Pins here.
I paid around $1,200 for all of them.
This collection, which cost less than $100 per pin, includes mostly French pieces with genuine gemstones. Some standout pins include a knight in armor set with rubies and a fully enameled gold figure. There's also a diamond and rubies horse's nail and a bird in flight, crafted in gold and a cabochon sapphire body. Although our guest does not wear them often, he occasionally sports the gladiator pin on his label. The appraiser noted that the collection, originally costing
easy $12,000.
Wow, Barry, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. We had no idea.
He and his wife were astonished by this revelation, realizing they had no idea of its true worth.
Well, I sure do appreciate it. I'm amazed at the value of it.
He discovered a Bible, letter, and button from 1895 in his grandmother's trunk. The Civil War button, made of brass and pewter, likely marked the soldier's unit or state. The pocket-sized Bible was likely carried by soldiers for spiritual comfort during the war. These Bibles, given by families or religious groups, offered soldiers comfort and a reminder of home. Gaston Baldwin of the 5th North Carolina Cavalry got this testament from his sister before the war. This letter reveals a personal wartime story.
It's about his death, and it's consoling his sister.
Right.
It tells about the Bible and tells where he was buried.
Due to paper shortages, he folded the letter and wrote the address on it, featuring a Richmond postmark and Jefferson Davis stamp. These items offer a poignant glimpse into a soldier's Civil War experience, connecting us to the past. Their history was priceless. The appraiser valued the item.
3 pieces, I would insure the group for $10,000.
Well, I sure do appreciate it. I'm amazed at the value of it.
On display today is an exquisite model of a Swan Boat. This model was presented to the guest grandmother by her suitor as a token of his affection. The exceptional craftsmanship of this model is evident, with wood being the primary material used. Intricate carvings adorn the model, with the wings being a standout example of exceptional craftsmanship.
See the petals in there. It truly is as Boston could be.
Long before the beloved children's book Make Way for Ducklings, swan boats were a familiar sight. The synchronized movement of the rudder and flag is a mesmerizing sight to see. Ingenious tiller ropes are fitted, enabling the operator to control the boat's direction without turning around. Boston collectors would highly value this genuine piece of the city's history, making it worth
$1,500 to $2,000.
Our guest shares a brooch passed down from her grandmother, fondly referred to as the Phoenix, despite it actually depicting a stork. Her grandmother was protective of the brooch, marking it off limits, but the guest often snuck a touch, captivated by its intricate design. After her grandmother's passing in 2012, the brooch was inherited by the guest's mother, and then by the guest herself. In a tragic turn, the guest house burned down in 2018, but the guest did manage to save her dogs. Miraculously, the brooch survived the fire as well, having been stored in an old dental cabinet that protected it from the flames. The appraiser dates the brooch to around 1890 to 1910, noting the period's popularity for animal-themed jewelry and the exquisite realism in its engraving. Made from 18-karat gold, the brooch is also accented with platinum and diamonds, although it shows some burn damage that can be repaired. Despite the damage, the brooch's auction value is estimated to be at
$2,000 to $2,500.
Okay, wonderful.
Today on the show, we have an 1850 Millard Fillmore Peace Medal, accompanied by a photograph. Fillmore was the 13th President of the United States and the last to have been a member of the Whig Party while in office. Our guest, who brought the medal, is a direct descendant of the man to whom it was originally given. The medal is made of silver and features an embossed side profile of Filmore. On the reverse side, there's an embossing depicting a settler demonstrating the benefits of civilization to a Native American. Also displayed is a photograph of the guest father wearing the same piece medal. Although many replicas of this model exist, the guest direct family connection allows us to authenticate this piece.
Oh, it's really nice when you can get one like this and you know the history of it.
The silver Filmore piece medal, due to its authenticity, would be valued at
$8,000 and $12,000.
When this guest was 18 years old, he received the wristwatch on display from his uncle when he joined the military. His uncle had served in Vietnam from 1969 to 1970 and purchased the watch during that time. This particular wristwatch is a GMT Master, manufactured by Rolex in 1967. Additionally, the watch features a bidirectional rotatable bezel with a 24-hour scale. It has a black dial with luminous hour markers filled with tritium for luminescence, which develops a patina over time. Both the guest and his uncle wore this piece over the years, resulting in some visible wear.
I wore it at work throughout my whole police career. It's been beat up quite a bit, as you can imagine, in search warrants or trying to arrest suspects and getting smashed to the ground trying to arrest somebody that's fighting. And so it's had a rough life. It's been in 49 years of battle, it seems like.
Furthermore, the watch's face has been refinished. The case shows signs of wear. Despite these condition issues, this Rolex GMT Master is highly sought after and is estimated to be worth
$7,500 and $8,500.
Man, if I didn't known that, I don't think I would have worn it to Afghanistan. I wore that every day in Afghanistan.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, my goodness. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
The owner's grandmother's brother got this piece from Coriolis Glass Company, where he worked. The company Coriolis was a consolidated glass company. It was made by Reuben Haley in 1926, and its name is Ruba-Rhombic. The appraiser was surprised to see it.
I love that name, Ruba-Rhombic. In all my years on the Antiques Roadshow, we haven't seen any Ruba-Rhombic come through the show.
Oh, really?
The damage on it does affect the price, but as it's in the hidden spot, it doesn't affect the value much. Its insurance value is
$9,000 to $10,000.
$9,000 to $10,000. Oh, my goodness. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Our guest brings in a ceramic bowl, believing it to be from Rookwood, a piece that has been in their family for years, originally belonging to their mother. The appraiser confirms that Rookwood is indeed a well-known pottery company based in Cincinnati, famous for both its hand-painted decorative pieces and its simpler production items. While many Rookwood pieces feature intricate hand-painted designs,
but they were not hand-painted, and they usually have a single color.
This bowl is held up by 3 elephant figurines, which is an unusual feature compared to the more common Rookwood items like bookends or paperweights. The appraiser highlights the rarity of this specific design, noting that seeing 3 elephants suspending a bowl is not typical for Rookwood pottery. Although the market for Rookwood pottery has declined in recent years, this unique piece still holds value. The appraiser estimates the bowl's current worth to be at
about $1,000. Now, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, would it have brought twice as much?
Portraits can carry profound meaning, and this particular one held a deeply touching story. A guest brought a cherished portrait to an appraiser, sharing the personal story behind it, which involved the renowned artist Nikolai Fetchen. The portrait, a gift from the guest's great-uncle who was a dentist in Beverly Hills, was created by Fetchen, who became both a patient and a friend of the great-uncle.
He is an artist that led a really international life, and that's had a big impact on his value in the market today.
The portrait, rendered in charcoal and initialed NF, was of one of the great-uncle's only son, who tragically passed away in a car accident during college. The appraiser recognized it as a classic Fetchen piece, highlighting the artist's Russian roots and international influence on its value. After fleeing to New York, Fetchen moved to New Mexico, where his reputation grew through his Taos work. Following a divorce, Fetchen relocated to Santa Monica around 1936, likely where he met the great-uncle. The portrait holds immense sentimental value, serving as a lasting tribute to the lost son. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
I would place the value at auction at $15,000 to $25,000.
Dresses often hide fascinating stories in their fabric. In 1970, a 19-year-old Los Angeles native discovered a unique opportunity at an MGM sale.
The MGM auction in 1970, the main part of it that you brought up with the higher-end items was an 18-day-long event that really was an event.
The studio was selling off costumes and properties, including Dorothy's ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz. Attending the sale toward the end of summer, she purchased 3 items for $25, despite the poor condition. At home, she found a tag in one dress showing it was worn by Angela Lansbury in the film Till the Clouds Roll By. Although she made alterations to the dress, including replacing a fur trim and adding a zipper, the costume retained much of its original charm. Despite the missing name tag and modifications, the appraiser recognized the rarity and significance of the piece. Its early association with Lansbury made it particularly valuable. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
This would be at least a $4,000 to $6,000 dress.
You're kidding! Oh my gosh, I shouldn't say that.
Conversation between the guest parents and his music teacher led to the discovery of an esteemed Italian luthier. As luck would have it, the guest grandfather was visiting Italy and had the opportunity to meet the artisan who created this remarkable instrument.
What did he pay for it?
The number that comes to mind as a kid was $600.
Yeah.
This instrument then became my instrument all through high school and college.
The legendary Ansaldo Paghi is the master craftsman behind this breathtaking instrument. Ansaldo Paghi was an Italian luthier, stringed instrument maker, from Bologna, Italy.
You know that the label says Ansaldo Paghi in Bologna, 1967. And so that date jives with your grandfather's trip to Italy?
Exactly.
He is widely regarded as one of the most important and influential violin makers of the 20th century. Paghi was notorious for his exacting standards, a perfectionist in every detail.
On the top of the viola is very straight, regular grain, right? The back is a beautiful, beautiful flamed maple, and the flames go all the way out to the edge.
This instrument is a testament to Paghi's tireless work ethic and unwavering commitment to excellence.
The viola is handwritten Ansaldo Paghi,
yes.
Fetchen in Bologna, anno 1967. That's his handwriting. There's no question about it.
As one of only 41 violas crafted by Paghi during his illustrious 60-year career, this instrument's value has appreciated significantly. And in its exceptional condition, it is truly priceless, estimated to be worth
$200,000 retail price.
I was thinking, several tens of thousands maybe. 200,000.
Exhibited on the show is a woven quilt that has been in the Guest family for many years. This quilt was made in 1896 as a memorial to the American Civil War. Embroidered on the quilt are the flags of the United States of America and the American Eagle emblem. Also woven into the quilt are the names of several soldiers from the Civil War, including the Guest ancestor.
It's my great-grandfather.
And his name is?
Robert Weaver, Illinois Volunteer Infantry.
At the bottom of the quilt, there's an embroidery reading, "Made by UB Ladies, Mays, Kansas." Additionally, the stitches are fine and uniform, demonstrating the quilter's skill. The quilt remains in pristine condition, even though it was made over a century ago.
Job of quilting it. And you just told me you've never seen it hanging, have you?
No, I haven't.
It's very impressive, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It hasn't faded, and it's in wonderful condition.
As a piece of Civil War memorabilia, this quilt is highly collectible and would command a price of
between $6,000 and $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
In 1969, they bought the clock from a dealer in Evanston, Illinois, who said it was from Scotland. Grandfather clocks, or long case clocks, were popular in the 18th and 19th centuries. This 1838 Scottish grandfather clock, the dial on this 1838 Scottish grandfather clock is marked A&W Marshall Wishaw. The rosette's detail invites curiosity.
Rosettes, they come right off, they're pinned on, just as they should be, and I believe that they're original, hand-carved rosettes.
A broken arch at the top displays miniatures of 4 riders, Scott, Burns, and 2 others. The gold gilt hands are shaped like thistles, reinforcing the Scottish theme. The clock's feet are original, confirmed by the old oxidized paint on the backboard extending down. The historical detail impressed, and the appraiser valued the item.
$6,000 and $7,000.
Presented here is a stick of uncommon appearance. This peculiar stick was discovered by the guest at an antique dealership. A friend of the guest, well versed in Native American art, identified it as a Lakota horse stick, convincing the guest to make the purchase.
I knew what it was. Is it a horse stick or a dance stick, as they call it? She said it was Lakota, late 1800s, is what she felt.
In Lakota culture, such a stick would serve as a memorial to a warrior's deceased horse. The Lakota people are a Native American tribe that traditionally inhabited the Great Plains region of North America, primarily in present-day North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana. They are one of 3 main sub-tribes of the Sioux Nation, along with the Dakota and Nakota. Further scrutiny of the stick uncovered evidence that it was a clever imitation.
At it carefully, what we have is we actually have a piece that's been made to look old.
It likely dates back to the 1920s or 1930s, and its value would be...
And I would think in an auction, it's probably worth $200 to $300.
Today, we have a collection of pottery made by Maria Martinez and her son, Tony Martinez. Maria Martinez was a Puebloan artist renowned for her internationally recognized pottery. And Tony Martinez was a Native American potter who collaborated closely with his mother. These items originally belonged to the guest grandmother before they were inherited. 2 of these items are salt cellars with silver spoons, and they are unsigned. We also have 2 black plates and a pot, all signed by Maria and her son. These signed pieces date back to the 1950s and are from San Ildefonso Pueblo, south of Santa Fe.
We know these were made in the late 50s because they don't have numbers or dates.
Right.
They just have the 2 signatures.
These plates and the pot are adorned with feather designs. In an auction setting, these signed pottery pieces by Maria and her son would easily be worth,
on the low end, $45,000 on the high end.
Right.
And if you get 2 people in the room who don't have one and want a big one, it's going to go for more than that.
This guest brought a painting onto the show that he inherited from his parents. The painting was created by Charles Warren Eaton. Eaton was an American artist best known for his tonalist landscapes, earning the nickname.
But he's probably best known as part of a group of artists who are known as the tonalists.
Tonalist?
Yeah. Probably the best known of them was George Innes, who was a great mentor to Charles Warren Eaton and used to paint, allow him to paint in the studio with him.
The pine tree painter for his numerous depictions of eastern white pine trees. In the lower right corner of the painting, we can see the artist's signature. Typical of Eaton's work, this painting features a depiction of trees. The painting's soft brush strokes reveal the artist's gentle touch and technical prowess, showcasing their mastery of the medium. It is an oil painting and still has its original frame, which further adds to its value. We can anticipate that this painting by Eaton, with its original frame, will sell for
$6,000 to $10,000.
Boy.
Today we feature a lamp with a mysterious allure. The lamp is owned by the guest husband, a treasured gift from his grandmother in the 1970s.
Previously, but I don't know when she received it or who she got it from.
And when you got it, did it have this hole in the shape?
This lamp is a masterful design by the renowned Van Erp. Unlike his more famous designs, this lamp showcases a lesser-known side of Van Erp's creativity.
Realistically, the work on the shade has more to do with Art Deco than arts and crafts, and Van Erp was an arts and crafts metalsmith from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Dirk Van Erp was a Dutch-American coppersmith who was active in the early 20th century. He's known for his stunning copper lamps, vases, and other decorative items that are highly prized by collectors today. The base features the classic Dirk Van Erp signature mark, a die-stamped windmill emblem. A notable imperfection in this piece is a small hole in the shade, which affects its value, estimated to be around
$6,000 and $9,000. In mint condition, it would have been maybe $8,000 to $12,000, but you never know.
phonographs, once simple audio devices, are now hidden treasures. In 2006, a rare Beatles phonograph was brought in for appraisal. Originally a Christmas gift in 1964, it had been tucked away in a closet for decades. This model, the High Fidelity 1000, stood out for its pristine condition. Remarkably, it still had the original packaging and instructions intact. As one of the earliest examples of Beatles licensing merchandise from the 1960s, it held historical significance. Over the years, this particular phonograph had gained status as a coveted collectible. The appraisal underscored its value, highlighting its importance as a piece of music history. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
Sells for no problem between $2,500 and $3,000, but $2,800 would be a really solid price at retail.
That'd be great, yeah.
Phot poles not only serve as cultural symbols of the Pacific Northwest, but also captivate collectors worldwide. About 30 years ago, a woman bought an item from an antique store in Bangkok, Thailand. It was tucked away in a corner, and the store owner didn't know its origin. An appraiser later identified it as a high-day-style pole from the Pacific Northwest of the United States. However, it was likely a reproduction made for sale, not an original piece. The surface was too shiny, unlike the natural finish of a true Northwest coast pole. The wood was also native to Thailand, not cedar. These details confirmed it was a decorative reproduction, not an authentic artifact. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
This would have a value of $100 to $200.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So,
good to know.
We have before us a distinctive windmill counterweight. It comes from the rural homestead of the guest and her spouse. The counterweight has been a fixture on their farm for many years.
When he was about 2 years old, actually climbed the windmill and climbed out to the inn and sat on the rooster.
Wow.
This counterweight was crafted by the Elgin Manufacturing Company, based in Elgin, Illinois. The counterweight is constructed from cast iron, with a visible seam where its two hollow sections meet.
We know from catalogs that this size existed, but none of us had ever seen the size in real life.
One of the most impressive aspects of this piece is its massive size, ranking it among the largest mill weights. The condition of the surface is outstanding, with a wonderful level of intactness. This is a genuinely rare and exceptional item, valued in the range of,
At retail, probably $4,000 to $6,000.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I would never
So
guess.
nice to sit in your garage, right?
This vase on display has a uniquely striking appearance. The guest inherited it from her grandmother, who gave it to her when she retired.
so what drew you to it that it became your favorite object?
Well, the little top up here kind of looks like that's the magic dragon to me.
Okay.
So as a child, that's kind of what I envisioned, that it was a dragon. I don't think it is. It's maybe a fish or something else.
It boasts a vibrant yellow glaze that is truly stunning. The Wiener Werkstatt, a prestigious Austrian workshop, is the origin of this piece.
Very famous. Basically what they would do is incorporate craftsmen, architects, artists into a colony that allowed them to think a little bit outside the box.
Vali Weiselthier, a celebrated artist, is responsible for the decoration on this piece. As a leading artist of her time, Vali Weiselthier was in high demand by the prestigious Wiener Werkstatt.
20s and 30s did some of the best work that came out using her imagination to create these amazing pieces.
Evidence of its remarkable provenance can be found on the underside of the vase. The intricate decoration is not only visually striking, but also remarkably well preserved, making it a valuable piece, estimated at
$3,000 and $5,000.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And if you were insuring it, I would probably put the insurance value closer to maybe $6,500.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
This folk art painting was a lucky find at an estate sale a decade or more ago. The guest was instantly drawn to it, purchasing it for a mere $25. It's a stunning early 19th century depiction of what appears to be a New England campus.
Oh my
goodness. It is Dartmouth College.
It
In
is.
Hanover, New Hampshire.
This wonderful major structure is Dartmouth Hall.
The artwork employs an unusual mix of pastel, charcoal, and sand on paper. Sand provides a subtle shimmer, while the vibrant colors bring the scene to life. Despite slight perspective issues, the buildings are rendered with considerable skill. This large piece is remarkably well preserved, offering a rare glimpse of structures from around 1820 to 1830. An auction estimate for this piece, if the specific location were identified, could potentially reach. Presented here is an exquisite miniature timepiece of remarkable beauty. This treasured timepiece has been a family heirloom for generations, cherished and passed down through the guest lineage.
Daughter of an only daughter of an only daughter, so I inherited the jewelries down the family.
In horology, this style is termed a Bule Watch, with the French word Bule accurately conveying its globular shape. Notably, the entire piece is meticulously hand-pierced in platinum, with delicate rose-cut diamonds expertly set within.
Rose diamond is a diamond with a flat bottom, very few facets on top.
Underlying the watch's surface is a rich layer of French cobalt blue enamel, a true masterpiece. Due to its innovative and complex mechanism, setting the watch requires a bit of extra care and attention. Normally, a watch like this would be paired with a complementary chain, but it appears to be missing from this particular piece.
Luckily, these chains were just as beautiful as the watch. Besides having links, it would have little stations of diamonds matching this, and then little stations of enamel.
In its present condition, the estimated value of the timepiece is?
I feel it's around $4,000 at auction.
Oh, wow. I'm speechless. Oh, my grandmother would be thrilled.
A recently inherited mahogany liquor case, or cellarette, holds a rich history linked to American naval heritage. The box is believed to have belonged to Captain Thomas Truxton, a notable figure who served on the USS Constellation. This ship was launched from Baltimore in 1797, providing the case with valuable provenance. 6 of the original 8 bottles and the original gilt highlighted tray enhance its historical significance. Crafted from mahogany and yellow pine, the cellarette is likely by renowned Annapolis cabinet maker John Shaw. Intricate inlay work exemplifies the box's quality and craftsmanship. Additionally, the mirror at the back, possibly crafted by the Steigel Company, adds to its charm with its finely engraved decoration. Despite efforts to give it away, the box remained in the family and is now valued between
$8,000 to $10,000.
Yes, yes!
A passionate baseball fan recently acquired a notable piece of sports history through an online auction. An oil-on-canvas painting by Lon Keller, often called the Norman Rockwell of sports, was purchased for about $2,100. Despite its neglected condition, the guest invested $500 in restoring and reframing the artwork.
There's integrity in the restoration work that's done. That can actually increase value. And that's what you've done here.
Created by Lon Keller, the painting depicts a scene from the 1946 World Series between the Red Sox and the Cardinals. Keller's work was so cherished that fans took the programs home, making them highly collectible. Notably, Keller also designed the iconic Yankees logo featuring a top hat, a design still used today. The guest later added a $100 program from the same World Series, enhancing the piece's historical value. Today, the painting is valued at approximately
About $4,500. So that is much better than the price you paid for it, and it's totally worthwhile.
a Percy gray watercolor, cherished for generations, has been passed down from family to guest. Dated 1930 and signed by Gray, the painting was probably bought from Gump's in San Francisco, a prominent dealer of his art. Percy Gray, born in San Francisco in 1869, discovered his artistic talent through a childhood illness.
And at that time, his brother gave him some art supplies, and that was when he discovered that he had a real talent for art and wanted to pursue it.
An allergy to oil paint led him to watercolors, where he developed a unique style with dense, obscuring colors. It features Percy Gray's signature lupine and eucalyptus trees in muted greens, browns, and gray palette. His work, influenced by the Barbizon school and tonalism, reflects his conservative stance against modernist art. This piece, in its original frame and never before on the market, exemplifies Gray's mature work. If offered in a retail gallery, it could command an asking price of around
$65,000.
Oh, gosh. That's interesting to know.
A treasured Mickey Mouse rocking chair from the 1930s has been a cherished family heirloom for nearly a century. Gifted for a first birthday in May 1935, this rocking chair has been a staple in the family, providing joy to generations.
I sat in it, my sons have sat in it, and my wife and my son's grandchildren have sat in it.
This Mickey Mouse rocking chair was part of a children's set with a table, chairs, a Pluto stool, and a bookcase. Among these, the rocking chair is particularly prized by collectors for its classic Mickey Mouse graphics from the 1930s. A distinctive pie eye animation style further highlights its historical significance. With its excellent condition, the chair reflects the quality craftsmanship of Kroller Manufacturing Company. This notable furniture maker is renowned for its durable and well-made pieces. Given its pristine condition and historical significance, its value is estimated to be between
$1,000 to $1,200.
Oh, that's great. Good.
A piece of vintage Roseville pottery, identified as a Rosanne Fujiyama, has recently surfaced. Featuring hand-decorated patterns, this 1906 piece is an excellent representation of Rosanne ware.
Design is unique to my eye. The stylized poppy blossoms and pods, and it didn't follow the regular design pattern that Fujiyama was supposed to have used.
Notably, the piece is adorned with the artist's signature, showcasing a unique decorative technique. Like decorating a cake with a piping bag, colored pigments are applied to the pottery surface. Frederick Reed is credited with popularizing the decorative method known as squeeze bag decoration. Displayed on the piece is a raised circular mark inscribed with Rosanne ware, inspired by Japanese artist Gazo Fuji. The Rosanne Fujiyama line was developed by Roseville. This piece's distinctive and artistic embellishments contribute to its estimated value of
About $3,000 to $4,000.
Oh.
Thank you.
I had no idea.
An extraordinary animated antique clock, acquired from a Californian antique store, stands out for its unique features. Known for its Zappler-like movement, this clock differs significantly from typical Zapplers. Unlike standard models with a single cowtail pendulum, this clock boasts two pendulums, crucial for its intricate animation. The clock's exceptional condition is highlighted by its original base and enamel dial. Its gilded hands are also well preserved and not often found in such fine shape. Purchased about 15 years ago for $500, this clock was a rare find for a collector of animated clocks. Dating from around 1810 to 1820, the clock's unique characteristics and pristine condition significantly elevate its value. With its distinctive features, this particular clock is valued between
$2,500 and $3,000.
Wow.
Because it's that different.
Really?
Yes.
Wonderful.
A unique shelf unit bought in 1979 for 1,365 Canadian dollars unveils its fascinating heritage upon closer inspection.
Probably used as a server. You've got a lip on each shelf so the objects don't fall off.
Initially used for knickknacks, the three-shelf piece is now celebrated for its exceptional craftsmanship and design. Crafted from rosewood, the shelf unit showcases a blend of Western and Asian decorative elements. Its intricate design features a bead and reel pattern reminiscent of Gothic and early Western art and a sinuous Rococo-inspired motif. Typical of Goan furniture from the Portuguese colony in India, the most distinctive feature is the crouching animal feet. This piece highlights a fusion of Western style with local craftsmanship for the Western market. Although the shelf unit was bought as a practical item, its artistic and historical value has proven to be substantial. If placed at an auction, this remarkable piece could fetch between
$10,000 to $15,000 for it.
Wonderful.
Charming recumbent water buffalo, characterized by its detailed craftsmanship and distinctive smile, has a storied past. This piece, originating from southern China's Guangdong province, showcases exceptional artistry typical of Guangdong ware. Its rich red glaze, derived from copper, highlights the skilled use of glaze. Varied colorations on the snout, tail, horns, and hooves capture the animal's natural beauty. And attention to detail extends to the back of the buffalo with a uniform, elegant glaze.
You'll see that we have 2 apertures so the air could escape. And you'll notice also around the edge there's kind of this discoloration.
Its rosewood base, custom fit and adorned with naturalistic plant forms, enhances the buffalo's appeal. The 19th century piece, cherished for its endearing expression, has been passed down through generations. With its historical and artistic significance, the water buffalo could command between
$5,000 and $8,000.
Sorry I've abused him.